Hello everyone, my name is Caden and welcome back to more Chaos Head Noah. The attempt 2 playthrough. This is the last time I have to say, hopefully. Anyways, last time, body. Anyways, this time, let's continue on. About a day had passed, and so I'd spent pretty much every hour of it in Baselard. I'd hardly even made time to eat. I'd immersed myself fully into the role of Neidhart, and in the process completely erased every trace of Nishijo Takumi. In ESO, I was an absolute god. No demon could ever strike fear into my heart, and I was respected by everyone. If only I could live in such a comfortable world for all eternity. I was certain I'd be far happier that way. Holy shit, Angelic Circlet! Fucking way! Legendary job! Holy shit! Try not to be too loud, sorry. Angelic Circlet for the win. I need to equip this the right way. Okay, equipment. Oh, he even shows up on the character model. So epic. Hey, look, over here! Check me out, Grim!
Huh?
Yeah, I hear the knocking. Hello? Shut up, Neidhart. Chill out, Neidhart. Shut up and kill it. Okay. I should head back to town and show off. Big bro! Finally, another legendary item to add to my collection. Naturally, I was stoked. My depression from earlier had been completely blown away. You hear me in there? The Angelic Circle has a drop rate of 0.0001%. So rare, some players thought it was unobtainable. Hey, open up! Well, it stats for shit, but it was pretty much just a cosmetic item. That was good enough. People could tell you had an Angelic Circlet just by looking at you, which was enough to make anyone green with envy. Big bro! Darn it, Neidhart is now one step closer to achieving godhood. Come on, open up! Shut up! Who the hell's been banging on my door for so goddamn long? Just when I finally managed to get a hold of a rare item, this happened. Can't a man enjoy his victories for 1 second? You big jerk! Oh god. That voice. The moment I realized who it was, my mood instantly took a nosedive. There was no mistaking it. That was the voice of an assassin sent by my parents. My little sister, Nanami. What a pain in the ass. If you don't open the door right now, then you're really mean. Oh shit. Here came the storm to rain on my parade. I really didn't want to let her in, but if I did, my parents would probably get on my case about it. Stop living alone and move back in with us, I'd say. I ignored them if I could, but my dad basically owned this building, so it'd take just a snap of his fingers for him to kick me out. This was the worst. Hey! STFU! I swear, her voice was so shrill it could shatter glass. Alright, stop the knocking! Banging just didn't stop. And since the mill walls were pretty thin, the sound echoed loudly all throughout the container. Nanami was well aware of that. In fact, that was exactly why she was doing it. In the end, I had no choice. I reluctantly removed the padlock and opened the door. Hello! Oh, there you are! Oh boy. Hello! Routine survival check. This baby-faced runt was my little sister. She was a year younger than me. At least say something when I knock on your door. I thought you were dead or something. Of course, the first thing out of her mouth was bitching. And to make things worse, she was standing there with her hands on her hips like the bratty little shit she was. The spitting image of irritating. Takumi, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but this photo shows her hands are not on her hips. In fact, both of them are in clear view. Her existence brought me nothing but suffering. Wow, this place is still a total pigsty. Can you at least tidy up a little bit every once in a while? Hello. Nami just waltzed right in without even asking. What the hell did she think she was doing? What, did she think she could get away with whatever she wanted just because she was my little sister? And to think there were people out there who seriously believed that little sisters were moe. I always wanted to tell those guys how much of an epic fail that was. Well, even though she was my sister, she certainly didn't look unsavory. She had the lollipop type, so I could see why that might make her pretty damn popular in some circles. But as her older brother, I didn't care about that. I wasn't into her at all. As far as I was concerned, she was downright repulsive, not to mention immature. Not to say I didn't like lollies, of course, just only 2D ones. Thank you, Takumi. Fantastic facial expression.
Smells like mold. I tell you to clean up every time I come here. Is it really that hard?
Let me check something real quick. You might have noticed it, but can I just increase the speed at which text appears on screen? Yeah, there we go. Much better. Yeah. Much better. There we go. Let's try that.
Well, I mean, I already know the answer. You're just too lazy to clean up, and you don't have a girlfriend to do it for you.
Let me turn it up a little more.
Well, whatever. I guess I'll just have to clean it for you.
But I refuse. Oh god. I remember Dar. Tips list. But I refuse. A quotation from a popular manga about bizarre adventures on the internet is used frequently as a cool way to turn someone down.
What? Why?
I don't want you to destroy my room.
Wow, I can't believe you just said that. Is that really how you thank your little sister for checking in on you?
Maybe things would change if you showed your older brother a little respect. Why should I be grateful that you're checking on me? I sure as hell didn't ask for that.
Jeez Louise, I don't have to be related to someone this difficult. Sometimes I wish I wasn't. Anyway, I'm pretty thirsty. Let me just grab a drink.
My soda pop! Let me also turn down the audio of the game or the music just a smidge. That's a bit better, I think. I might have to adjust it more later. Nanami walked right past me and over to the mini fridge, once again acting like she owned the place. Oh, another delusion.
Is there nothing but cola in here? You could have at least gotten some milk tea for me or something.
I think I'm just gonna go... Okay, so I do know the whole... I have a guide with me that it's... Again, I think I mentioned this before. It's from the Committee of Zero patch. The same guys who made the unofficial, like, decensorship patch. They made the guide for this game. But they... I do know about how there's a whole bunch of different endings, and it relates to how you choose your delusions. However, what I also read in the guide is that your first playthrough... If what I read is correct, your first playthrough doesn't matter what delusions you pick. I think it's like guaranteed... Unless you do something like very specific, you're always going to get the same like first playthrough. So, you know what I want to do? I just want to see what happens if we don't do any delusions this first time around. Let's just see everything for as it is. How should I have known you'd be here?
Oh, whatever. Call it is, I guess.
Surprise, fucking surprise. She went ahead and did as she pleased. There's this thing called permission, you know. She grabbed a bottle of cola from the fridge, one I had already drank from no less, and after only a second of hesitation, she cracked it open and gulped it down. My drink. She just drank straight from the bottle. Nasty. She was supposed to be a girl, and yet she acted like this. What a disgrace. This is exactly why 3D sucked ass. As soon as Nanami left, I was gonna chuck that ball straight in the trash. Wait, what? Did she just...
That was so good. I just ran straight here from school and nothing beats a cold drink after a good workout.
Did you just drink all that in one go? I bought that cola with my own money here. So just because you're my sister, you think you can do whatever the hell you want, huh? I see how it is.
Oh, Whoops.
Nami looked at the ball in her hand and turned pale. Oh good. Looks like she finally realized how rude she was being to...
Oh god, why did I do that? Why did that again?
What? The face.
It's all your fault, big bro.
I had no idea what she was talking about.
You've always been such a cola junkie, it's totally rubbed off on me.
That's your own fault.
Like, we always had tons in the fridge at home, you know? Mom really spoiled you by buying you so much of it. Stuff is super high in calories, you know? Just stop drinking so much of it. From now on, you should drink milk tea instead.
Milk tea really isn't any healthier than cola. It's got just as many calories. And more importantly, who the hell asked? I'm happy with my diet, thanks. Is that all you came here for? To drink all my cola, then lecture me to stop drinking cola? That is pretty funny. Just go home already. You did your whole survival check thing, and now your job here is done, right? Why do you feel the need to barge in here every time?
Big bro, you're so mean.
Seems like I've managed to offend her somehow. She pursed her lips into a pout and glared at me. I was already done with her shit, though, so I looked away.
This is what I get for checking on you? I only came here because I was worried about you. I mean, you just shut yourself in here all the time, and sometimes you go for days without talking to anyone, you know? And that means you never get the chance to talk to any girl.
Shut up. Stop making fun of me. Stupid bitch. I'm not into 3D anyway, so why would I ever bother talking to them?
In fact, I'm the only girl you ever talked to, aren't I? I don't think you appreciate me enough. Maybe if you actually started treating your sister right, you'd get a little better at talking with girls.
While she was nagging, Nanami picked up one of my figures, Hikaru-tan from the Suicide for Hikari, started staring at it. Damn it, don't touch my wife's without asking. If you leave even a single fingerprint on here, I will okie dokie, Takumi.
Also, you really need to take better care of yourself. You're too old to be obsessing over dolls. I don't want to walk in here one day and find you down on the floor, you got it?
What else is she trying to imply? I feel like she's becoming more and more like Mom lately. Which meant that she gotten even more fucking annoying. Just leave already.
Don't just tell me to leave like that. You're such a jerk. Besides, I'm not finished.
She was getting more hysterical by the minute. If I made her any angrier, things would get out of hand, so chill out, me.
Let's go buy you a cell phone.
Huh? What she just said?
Dad told me to help you buy one. If you have a phone, we can check if you're alive whenever we want. He even gave me the money to pay for it. So come on, let's go already. Everyone's got a cell phone these days. You really live under a rock, don't you?
Shut up already, you teenage trend-chasing bitch. I'm the one who lives under a rock here. You wrong-sider. The internet gives me all the information I need. Well, she was right about one thing. These days it was normal for a high school student to have a phone, and I didn't have one. Of course, that was because I never used it anyway. I don't have anyone to call or text, and I don't want to pay for something I wasn't going to use.
Okay, ready to head out?
And now we put the figure back on the shelf and turned her attention back to me.
I'm sure you're clueless about which model gets, so we'll just get you the same one I have.
She said that. She took out her own phone out of the bag and started showing it off like it was some precious heirloom. Rug.
Check it out. This one's mine. The color's so cute, don't you think? Alright, we might as well get you one of these straps, too.
Yeah. What a lazy-ass design. The character hanging from the phone strap was far from cute. It looked horrible. There's no way a professional had designed it. It looks like one of those shit-tier ugly cute characters, or like one of those official government mascots.
Not lazy. I even know this little guy is called Garo Froggy. They're super in right now. Well, it's not like you know what's popular with high school girls these days. If you crawled out of your hole long enough to fix that, I'm 99% sure you'd be able to hold a conversation with a girl.
God damn it, shut the fuck up already, you trend-chasing bitch. The fuck is this Garo Froggy shit? There's no way this thing is popular. Anyone with half a brain could tell you that. She didn't realize she was just being played by the media. It was honestly sad.
Anyway, this isn't about Garo Froggy. Come on, let's go buy you a phone already. Oh, and I'm not saying you have to get the smell, by the way. It's just that family members with the same mall can get a discount on their rate. Yeah, you're the only one in our family that doesn't have one.
I don't want one.
But why? Dad's even paying for it.
Just don't need it. It'd be a nuisance, if anything. If I had a phone, Mom could definitely call every day. If I kept ignoring those calls, they'd keep sending little Miss Assassin and Nami over here to lay on the pressure. My family life would become even more of a living hell, and I'd have to start being way more careful as a result. Couldn't let that happen.
What the heck? Can't believe how much of a jerk you are. You know what? Fine, I'll sleep.
Oh good. Go right ahead. I opened the door for her to finally leave, but Nanami didn't budge an inch. She shot her arms down to her sides, looking even more upset than before.
You're such a jerk. The biggest, meanest jerk ever. At least walk me to the station.
No thanks. She never acted like this before. Why'd she suddenly want me to walk her to the station? What's so special about today?
It's really dangerous out there, you know? With all the murders and stuff. As my older brother, you should at least be a little concerned about me, right?
Yesterday's events were resurrected in my mind once again, if only for a second. I frantically shook my head, trying to get that gruesome scene out of my mind, and I just barely managed to. Not really. Either way, I wasn't like the new gen murder was twisted enough to attack some brat like Nanami.
I don't believe it. You saying you wouldn't even care if I died?
Nami's tearing up. Seemed like my words had really gone to her. Serves you right. You should think twice about disturbing my peace and quiet next time. This is just my own way of taking a little revenge for once. Get fucked.
Hey, you're drop dead. I hope you die in a freak accident. The freakiest of freak accidents ever.
Well, that just happened. After spitting those parting words at me, Nanami pushed past me and ran away as fast as she could. Seemed like the storm had finally passed. The room grew peaceful and quiet once again. This is how things should always be around here. My own perfect little world where stupid bullshit wasn't allowed. I sat down in front of my PC, shaking my mouse a little to clear the Seriton screensaver. I tried to take a sip of the cola bottle on my desk, but it was empty. Shit. It's the bottle that Nanami just drank from. God, I just had an indirect kiss. Ugh. If she was a little more charming, it would have been the kind of Eroge-like situation I could... Okie dokie. I put the cap back on the bottle, then threw it at the big garbage bag in the corner of my room. But it didn't go in the bag, instead bouncing off the wall and rolling under my bed. Well, whatever. Anyway, time to dive straight back into ESO. I just want to forget about the annoying real world ASAP. It won't last long. Just one day later, my immersion would be broken once again. My mental state had been on the up and up lately, but the moment I stepped outside, it all came crashing down again. Damn it, why did I have to go to school today? It was so early. Today is the worst. It wasn't like I could just take the day off. If I did, my minimum attendance chart would get all thrown off, and then I wouldn't be able to graduate. Everyone always talks about graduation, but what's the point? What am I graduating from, really? I was the one insisting on going through with it, but I still couldn't help but complain. As I approached the wealthy district of Matsunami, I finally realized I've been feeling a gaze for a while now. This wasn't the usual god's gaze. I didn't feel any shivers on the back of my neck. Hello? Hello? As I turned the corner, I took a quick, tiny glance behind me, and I caught a glimpse of a girl wearing a Suime High uniform. Wait, was it the demon from yesterday? I instantly lost my composure. An extreme amount of tension overtook my body, and my walking became stilted. A moment ago, it was a quiet morning like any other, and now it felt like the entire world was out to get me. I could faintly hear the sounds of birds chirping atop the phone lines, and I could also hear music from the morning news playing in nearby homes. In a peaceful scene like this, where crime would seem totally out of place, I came close to imagining myself getting brutally murdered. Okay. I need to calm down. It wasn't like I'd clearly seen her face or anything, and there was nothing strange about seeing Suimei students walking around me. We were all headed to the same destination after all. I'd be fine. Okay. Even though the school's straight ahead, I decided to take a hard right. I was worried about what could be behind me. I desperately suppressed the urge to turn around. I needed to keep my cool and act natural. My heart was pounding, but I kept walking. I continued for about a minute or so, until I decided I couldn't take it anymore. I slowly turned around. Ugh. We made eye contact for a second, but I panicked and turned back around. Why was she following me? This path was obviously the long way to school. I meant she had to be tailing me. By the way, I'd never seen her before. She definitely wasn't a demon from yesterday, that was for sure. She was wearing glasses, and the demon girl hadn't been. That fact alone was enough to calm me down. I decided to just head straight for school. I'd have to skip my routine breakfast at the park because of it, but oh well. Go fuck yourself, girl A. You're just some background character, pedestrian 1 or girl A, so stay out of my way, goddammit. After I entered the school, girl A disappeared. I expected her to continue tailing me, but instead she turned and headed up to the third-year classrooms. Maybe she was never tailing me in the first place. Maybe I was just overthinking it. Still, it was definitely weird that she'd taken the same detour that I had. Did she hate me for some reason? Had I done something to piss her off? I didn't think so. No, I couldn't have. I hardly ever went to school, and when I did, I tried to keep my presence very minimal. So then what the hell was she trying to accomplish? Well, that's worrying. Oh, we're just skipping here. Somehow I managed to make it through the torture known as school. On the way back, I made my usual stop at Cafe. I took my seat in room 37. The nearby rooms were normally always empty, but surprisingly, that wasn't true today. There was someone in room 36. There's music playing from it, too. The door was closed, but the light from the desk lamp leaked through the cracks. I couldn't help but click my tongue when I entered my room. Having someone sitting nearby posed a bit of a problem. Whenever I did things like chatting online, I had a tendency to talk to myself sometimes. Well, whatever. I'm just ignoring and logging to ESO already. As long as I make a conscious effort to stay quiet, it shouldn't really be an issue. What's wrong with these people? Irritated, I slammed my hands down on the keyboard. It's been only 2 hours since I started playing, and I was already this close to throwing myself off a cliff. People I partied up with today were total noobs. I've just been trying my best to help them, but one of them went all Leroy Jenkins and just died repeatedly. And the other one was a mage, but he didn't cast any healing spells at all. As a result, we just kept getting full party wiped all over and over again. And yet, instead of figuring out why it was happening, all they ever did was continue to piss and moan in the chat. Fuck these shitty players. I finally just lost it. Proceeded to player killed both of them, steal all their items, and instantly escape to another area. Everything Nightheart couldn't do, Lisa Law could do without a second thought. This is exactly what I came all the way to At Cafe for. Finally feeling a bit better, I breathed a sigh of relief and went to grab a drink. At Cafe had a bunch of all-you-can-drink soda fountains in the reception area. And related to that was the only bad thing about room 37. It was kind of far away from the reception area. When I left my room, the door to room 36 was open. Actually, in order to make my way to the front, I had to go past it. That bag has those frogs on it. I casually took a peek inside as I walked past, but there was nobody in there. Come to think of it, I heard someone get up a moment ago. And although there was no one there, I saw a bag on the ground next to the reclining chair. It looked like a school bag, and there were a few toy straps hanging from it. They were Garo froggies, like the one that Nanami had shown me yesterday. There were 3 of them in total. I guess they really were popular. Well, whatever. It wasn't like I cared either way. Besides, if the person came back and caught me staring, they might have taken me for a pervert or a thief. Realizing that, I decided to just go get my drink. However, right as I went to leave, my eye caught a glimpse of the text on their monitor, and I froze. All things new gen. And if that wasn't enough, it was written in the most sickening font, as if it was trying to freak me out. New Gen. I'm deliberately avoiding any and all info about those cases. I really didn't want to know anything more about them, and as long as I kept avoiding them, I could keep telling myself that they had nothing to do with me. No, forget about that. More importantly, the customer next door to me was looking at a site laying out everything about New Gen. Was it just a coincidence, or did it mean something? For a moment, the face of that demon girl flashed through my mind, sending goosebumps across my entire body. I shook my head violently, trying to force those horrible thoughts away. I was just overthinking it. Yeah, I had to be. Nobody was out to get me. I was just being paranoid. New Gen was pretty much all the media talked about lately. By this point, anyone would be interested in it. Yep, that's all it was. Yep, no doubt about it. Anyway, I should just go get my drink already, then get back to business. I quickly placed my cup under the dispenser and pressed the cola button. Delicious ice-cold cola started pouring out. It was getting dark outside, which meant this place was going to get really crowded soon. There were already a few customers standing by the front desk, waiting to be shown to their rooms. And the darker it got, the more people would show up. In about an hour or so, all the rooms surrounding room 37 would fill up. Once that happened, it'd be time for me to head home. I took my cup and headed back toward my seat. On the way, I casually glanced down the hall towards the bathrooms. That's when... Hey, you! I saw a girl's figure disappear into the corridor. She'd been wearing a Suime uniform and had glasses on her face. I recognized her. It was the same girl that had been tailing me this morning. Girl A. Huh? I thought I might have been mistaken, so I hid behind some bookshelves and looked toward the corridor for a while. She never showed up again. It must have just been my imagination. Yeah, it had to have been. I'd only seen her for half a second after all. This place was typically swarming with Suime girls, and plenty of them wore glasses. But what if it had been Girl A? If she was here, what would that mean? Was it just a coincidence? Or had she followed me? I was starting to get a little scared. I left the cafe and started rushing back to my base. In the end, my anxiety had been too much to handle, and I left almost immediately after I saw the girl. I wanted to get home as soon as possible, but the crowded sidewalks were slowing me down. I was feeling sicker and sicker by the minute. I hated crowds. I always felt like people were watching me and snickering. A red pedestrian signal stopped me in my tracks. As I waited for the light to change again, I couldn't help but take a quick look around. I didn't see Girl A anywhere. As soon as I reached the top of the Dogonzaka, walking got a lot easier. Usually I would take the least crowded way back, but... After what just happened 2 nights ago, I figured I should stick to the main streets, just to be safe. I was stuck at a red light again, so I took another look behind me. Girl A was still nowhere to be found. The girl I'd seen at that cafe might have been a different person after all. Feeling a bit relieved, I let my tense shoulders relax a little, and turned back around. Oh god. That's terrifying. Shocked, I took a step back. On the other side of the crosswalk, standing among the crowd, waiting for the light to change, was the girl. And to make matters worse, the gaze beyond those glasses were clearly pointing straight at me. She didn't even try to look away. Her eyes were so intense. It was as if they were urging me to do something. No delusion. I couldn't take my eyes off her either. It was like I was suffering from sleep paralysis. Suddenly, Girl A opened her mouth. She seemed like she was trying to say something. But everything else was so loud, there was no way I could hear what she was saying. I was completely entranced. All I could do was stare at the movement of her lips. Whose eyes are those? This phrase is starting to scare me. Eyes. A chill ran down my spine. There's no way she just said that. It must have been my imagination. I sucked at lip reading anyway, so I'd probably just gotten it wrong. I shook my head, trying my hardest to look away from her. Either way, Girl A had definitely said something. Whatever it was incredibly creepy, especially considering the two of us had never met before. I needed to stay away from her. I should just run. I'll just run straight home. Run. Whipping my weak, withering heart into shape, I broke into a sprint. I ran back down Dogonzaga, trying to put as much distance between me and Girl A as I could. On the way, I turned into a back alley. And right as I did, I crashed into something and toppled over. Pain shot through my entire body. I groaned, not fully understanding what had just happened. The pain was so bad I could hardly stand. Looking up, I saw a big motor scooter lying on the ground. It must have been what I'd run into. I gritted my teeth and tried to force myself to my feet, but my legs just weren't able to hold me up. Well, it didn't seem like I'd broken any bones, at least. Are you alright? Is it the girl? Yep. Before I knew it, Girl A was right in front of me. She was peering into my face, eyes full of concern. What the hell was up with this girl? My body wouldn't move. As pathetic as it sounds, I was scared shitless. I had no idea what to do. My plan had been to catch a train ride to Shinsen and then get home that way, but now I was starting to regret my life choices. Are you hurt? Girl A asked me timidly. Was she acting all worried so I would drop my guard? You won't fool me. I won't fall for your tricks, you 3D wench. What the hell's wrong with you? Huh? Quit following me. What do you want from me anyway? Panicked, I lashed out at Girl A, who just stood there in surprise. I tried scuttling backwards to make some distance, but I was still flat on my ass. If I didn't get away from her, she'd just reach into her jacket, pull out a knife, and jump me. That was my thought process anyway. That gruesome scene flashed through my mind over and over. All I could think was, that's how I'll end up. The girl hung her head, looking a little hurt. So, you ran off, so I came to check on you, and then you fell, so I got worried, but you, I don't want anything from you, so, she didn't want anything from me? It didn't make any sense. Then, why have you been stalking me? Well, that's because... She was getting flustered. I just couldn't get over how suspicious she was acting. I'm Kusunagi Yua. Huh? Nobody asked her to, but she suddenly started introducing herself anyway. To be honest, ever since when I first saw you, I want to know more about you, so... I just instinctively... What, she just instinctively started stalking me? The girl, whose name was Yu apparently, kept lowering her gaze as she talked. I'm very sorry. She bowed her head vigorously. There's no way. That was the only thing on my mind. Taking another look at her, this Yu girl was pretty cute. I had to give her that much at least. That was exactly why I couldn't trust her. A 3D girl who wanted to interact with me, with good intentions? What kind of a rogue was this? My whole life, nobody ever said anything like that to me. There's no way I could take her confession seriously. It was just way too out of left field. What, she'd think I'd be jumping for joy or something? Did she forget she'd been stalking me until now? Sure, that kind of thing might work in 2D world, but IRL, it was a okie dokie. Also, this whole situation was really embarrassing. All I wanted was to get out of there ASAP. Just talking to her made me anxious. 3D really was total dog shit. I'm not into 3D. Huh? Huh? I mean... I always start when I try to say something harsh. I had to be clear. Don't follow me anymore. I don't like it. You're freaking me out. Quit following me. I'm sorry. She sure looked disheartened. Maybe she actually meant it. No, don't fall for it. You can't trust anything about 3D women. You can only trust 2D. You can trust Seraton far more than this harlot. Just don't follow me anymore. I'm gonna go now. As I mumbled incoherently, I tried as hard as I could to stand up. I struggled. My body was still hurting all over the place. My collarbone in particular was being a real bitch. The pain was making me feel kind of dizzy. I might have hit my head when I'd fallen down earlier. I almost fell over again, but you had caught my hand and stopped me.
Are you hurt? Here, I'll help you get up.
I've tried really hard not to make eye contact. I could feel my face turning bright red. She'd definitely make fun of me if she knows, so I turned away and forcefully shook her hand off. My mind was a total blank. I'd hardly, if ever, touched a female before. Except family members, of course. My heart was beating out of my chest.
I'll help you get back home, because, you only got hurt because I was following you in the first place, so... Please let me help you.
I felt really happy when you asked me that. I wasn't really used to being treated kindly by others. Every other 3D woman I had interacted with before was utterly vile, but this girl... I was actually starting to warm up to her a little bit. I didn't have the courage to look her straight in the eye. I mean, she had been stalking me, and she also might have been related to the demon girl, and I didn't want to die. All sorts of thoughts flew through my head, but I couldn't focus on any single one of them. My mind was a total blur.
So, which way is your house?
Oh,
Shinsen?
I nodded, before instantly regretting it. Why the hell had I told her that? Was I expecting something to happen if I did? This had to be one of my delusions. Maybe karma put me on a lucky streak so it could come to beat me down later. You saw that cliche all the time in anime. This must have been some sort of death flag. Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god. Before I knew it, Yua was trying her best to prop me up with her shoulders. Her soft body was tightly pressed against mine, and I could smell a sweet scent coming from her long hair. This couldn't be real. There's no way a 3D girl was being this nice to me.
Can you walk?
I nodded in response. It just kind of feels sad, just seeing how Takumi thinks everything's out to get him.
Alright, let's get going.
Her voice almost sounded nervous. Then, with my head pointed down at the ground, I slowly started to walk. She'd done so much for me at this point. I couldn't turn her down or shake her off anymore. I was out of options. I just had to let her do as she pleased. Leaning on her delicate shoulder for support, the two of us got moving. Well, here we are. Neither of us said a word until we reached the building where my base was located. After all, there was no way I could hold a half-decent conversation with a girl, let alone one I didn't know. I knew that the second I'd bring up anime or video games, she'd automatically go, ew, what a freak, just like every other 3D girl. She wouldn't even bother listening or trying to understand. From my point of view, there was just no point in talking to bitches like that. Here, it's fine. You can go now. That grumble was about all I could muster. I looked at Yua to make sure she understood it. She gave me a gentle nod in response and removed her arm from under me. I was still a little unstable, but I managed to stay upright.
How about I at least, help you up to your room?
I completely ignored her suggestion and walked toward the lobby. Well, I say lobby, but it was really just a narrow entryway to the elevator hall. Still, the moment I lifted my foot to start climbing the small staircase leading up to it, a sharp pain ran through me, and I nearly fell over again.
Are you alright? Okay.
Yua rushed over to support me. Damn it, why was she still here?
Alright, I'm coming with you to your room. I won't let you down.
She sounded almost desperate. I hate to admit it, but Yua had been a huge help, and in the end, she had taken me all the way back to my base. To get there, first we need to go all the way up to the 8th floor, then take the steep flight of emergency stairs up to the roof. In my current state, there was no way I could have ever possibly managed that alone. Yua wasn't strong in any sense of the word. She was very clearly running on fumes. And yet she had helped me up the stairs as if her life depended on it.
So, this is where you live, huh?
Yua was left speechless when she saw my container house. No surprise there. Normal people probably would never believe someone could live in a container.
Kind of nice.
Huh?
It has a sense of rebelliousness to it. I like it.
I never thought she'd say something like that. Was she just trying to flatter me or something? You won't fool me, wench. I never fall for a 3D girl's tricks. With you was still propping me up, we walked up to the container door, removed the padlock, and stepped inside. I was finally back. Today was another total catastrophe. This is why you couldn't really beat staying indoors. It's so dark. Where's the light switch? Does she really not have any shame just coming into my room like this? I mean, to be fair, she had brought me all the way here on her shoulder. I really didn't want her seeing the rest of the room if I could help it. I mean, I had dozens upon dozens of figures lined up on my shelves, piles of Rogue boxes on my bed, and trash all over the floor. I'm fine. No, let me go. After I said that, I waited for Yua to let go of me. But she didn't budge.
Your floor's all messy. I mean, it seems a little hard for you to walk across. It's dangerous in your current state. Let me take you over to the couch first. I'll let you go after that.
In the end, I just kept on doing whatever she said. The couch was covered in CDs and magazines, but Yua quickly cleared them out of the way, as quickly as she could while still holding me up anyway. As soon as she was finished, I sat right down. Yeah, she's just so sweet and caring. Wait, what am I saying? I'm not gonna fall for it. I'm not.
Are you alright now?
Yeah. The two of us were all alone in the room. It was almost pitch black, save for the tiny bit of moonlight shining through the open doorway. As a result, I couldn't tell what sort of expression Yua had on her face. On the bright side, though, hearing a girl breathing in the dark's pretty hot. Thank you, Takumi. Come to think of it, it was the first time anyone aside from my little sister had ever seen my room. Which meant it was the first time I'd had an actual girl up here. If this were a game, I would have tripped some sort of flag, and after that, soon enough, the mood would turn romantic, and before we knew it, we would all be over each other. I said I wasn't expecting anything like that. Reality was complete and utter shit. It was nothing like the 2D world. And besides, this Yua girl wasn't normal. She was a stalker. So, yeah. Wait, why was she still here? How long was she planning on staying? Her job here was done, so shouldn't she be leaving now? That was when it hit me. Wait, no. Was her plan to get me alone in an isolated spot, then do something horrible to me?
Where's the light switch?
By my PC.
Your PC?
The only light source in the room was the desk lamp by my PC. I didn't want to tell her to turn that. I wanted to tell her to turn that lamp on, but I just couldn't get the words out.
Oh, I see. That lamp over there, right?
Yeah. You carefully made her way over to my computer, avoiding all the garbage by her feet, then turned on the lamp. And then there was light. The darkness had put all sorts of embarrassing ideas and delusions in my head, and now that I could see Yura's face clearly, all those fantasies made it hard to look at her in the eye without getting even more embarrassed than I already was. And I couldn't get any words out, so I just kept my head down. She said so suddenly that goosebumps shot across my face. Her gaze was pointed straight at the Seraton figure next to my monitor, who was striking her favorite sexy pose.
This is the Seraton from Bloodtoon, right?
Huh? You know her?
Yes, I love Bloodtoon. I watch it every week. You sure love Sarah-chan, don't you? She's my favorite heroine too. Her outfit is so cute.
Her voice was full of joy. She was clearly speaking genuinely. There's no way she was just trying to check me. Who would have thought? Could you be a... nothing. Well, maybe she just liked anime.
It's a figure, right? Can I take a look for a second? Oh, I'm sorry. That was rude of me, wasn't it? Maybe I should just leave.
She bowed repeatedly, clearly flustered. Sure, you can look. Well, I couldn't say I didn't enjoy her laying praise on the praise on my waifu, so I might as well be a little nicer to her.
Really? Thank you so much.
Yu took Sarah in her hand and started inspecting her closely. That's the Sanyodo pre-awakening version. A few Sarah figures have been released. This was the first one.
Wow.
It's not very high quality though. Parts of it are a little misshapen like her face. Poses you can do with it are also way too generic. You can't make her look very sexy at all. Oh, the clothes around her boobs are removable and it's a cast-off figure, but that's pretty much all it has going for it. Oops. By the way, I've collected all 4 Seraph figures that are currently available. They're on those shelves. Got the uniform version, maid version, and swimsuit version.
Oh, I had no idea there were that many. Must have been hard to get them all.
The most expensive one is the maid version, but if you ask me, I'd say the swimsuit version is pretty good too.
Think so? Can you show me? Actually, it's still a little dark.
Alpha's releasing the ultimate post-awakening version soon, and it seems like it'll be pretty high quality. They're saying all of her clothes will be removable, not just her boobs. Plus, the different expressions and poses are going to be top-notch. If they nail the paintwork too, it'll definitely be a candidate for the figure of the year.
Alpha?
They're a manufacturer. They make figures.
Oh, I see.
Suddenly realizing what I'd done, I clamped my mouth shut. I've been rambling on for way too long. I'd gone off on tangent about goddamn animal egg girl figures. Removable pieces, sexy poses. I bet it looks like a total idiot to Yua. I wanted to know what sort of face she was making, but I couldn't bring myself to look at her. Either way, though, it was obvious. She must have thought I was total human trash. I started panicking. My heart was beating out of my chest. I tried to avert my gaze as far away as I could. That's when she called out to me, and I reflexively turned back to look at her. Her expression... it wasn't actually full of horror and disgust like I had expected.
You said you had the comet version and the maid version, right? May I see them?
Sure. They're on the shelf. I was totally baffled. There wasn't a hint of anything on her face other than a wide, bright smile.
Oh, this is amazing! That's such a big collection.
In fact, her eyes were sparkling as she looked at my shelves full of figures. No way. There were actually 3 women that weren't disgusted by this stuff? It must have been a 1 in a billion chance, but I suppose there were billions of people in the world.
Oh, so this is Maid Sarah-chan. See, a little different from how she looks on the show, but she's still so cute. She even went so far as to make her a little underwear there too. This is the first time I've ever seen something like this, but I really like it. Maybe I should get one for myself.
If you want one, you should pre-order the post-awakening version. That's my recommendation.
Think so? I'm really interested in that one too, considering how you talked about it earlier. Post-awakening version is from that scene in episode 12, right?
You sure know your stuff, dear lady. You must be quite the fan.
Yes, I love the show. I rewatched a clip of the waking scene every single day since it came out.
You know, the animation in that scene is all Miyagi. He directed it too, so there's no wonder it's so high quality.
Miyagi?
He's a god-tier animator. Hell, everything he makes is total god-tier. Whenever his work shows up in anything, people post on that channel like, Miyagi for the win, and stuff like that.
Oh, really? I see. You certainly know a lot about this, huh? I never really paid much attention to the production staff.
It's a good idea to check the director, the producer, and the scenario writer at least. When it comes to new IPs, you can usually tell off of those alone whether it'll be worth watching or not.
I see. I'll start doing that from now on.
As Yua said that, she turned to face me with another lovely smile. I made a girl smile. Alright, never thought I'd see this kind of eroge stuff happen IRL, let alone to me. Usually 3D women, including my little sister, only ever smile when they were making fun of me. There had to be some kind of catch. There was just no other explanation. I couldn't forget what Saratan had told me. Till then, you can't trust anyone. Don't listen to anything that anyone says.
Um,
Huh?
I'm not sure I have any right to ask, but
What? You got all shy out of nowhere. She was looking down and avoiding eye contact.
but is it alright if I ask anyway? I'd like to know your name.
My name? Now she mentioned it, you had introduced yourself to me, but I never returned the favor. Nishijo Takumi. I was a little embarrassed, so I ended up weakly mumbling it out.
Nishijo Takumi. Kun? I see. What year are you in?
Oh, second year.
I'm a third year. I guess I'm older than you then.
Man, I was getting dizzy from how moe that sounded. Could you be the kind of older sister type? Damn it, trying to seduce me and shit. This woman was dangerous. She must be up to something.
By the way, Nishijo-kun, I have a request.
A request? Seriously? I'm not gonna change anything yet. Is she gonna ask for one of my Seroton figures? If doesn't, she can fuck right off. She had the gall to ask me to part with one of my waifus? Ridiculous. Total insanity. There's nothing anyone could say that, and there was no price anyone could pay to make me give up one of my Seroton figures. It wasn't fucking happening. If you want one so bad, go buy your one yourself. While I was yelling at her in my head, Yua suddenly had a huge fall, laying flat on her rear. She rubbed her butt while on the verge of tears.
No, I think I just tripped on one of your CDs. The case might have broken. I'm really, really sorry. I'll make sure to clean it up.
It's fine. Just get the hell out of here already. You've done enough. And what the hell was that request you mentioned earlier? Yua started cleaning up the trash and CD cases lying all over the floor, even though I told her that she didn't have to. She looked so apologetic, it almost made me feel guilty. Like I had done something wrong.
Well, let me just clear enough space so I don't step on anything else. I'm really sorry. I'll tell you about my request after I'm done.
With the way she started instantly cleaning up, and thoroughly at that, she somewhat reminded me of my mom. Not caring in the slightest about what may cause problems for other people, rushing straight into doing whatever she pleased. You know, the typical meddler. In that case, I should probably start helping her, shouldn't I? We both reach up for a piece of trash at the same time, our hands would touch, and we both say, and then we'd stare into each other's eyes, just soaking in the glow of the moment, right? Wrong. What the fuck do you think this is? Some kind of rom-com? No way in hell I was helping her. Well, in the middle of piling up magazines, Yua suddenly stopped. Her back was turned, so I couldn't tell what she just picked up.
It's fine. Don't mind me.
What was she getting so nervous about? Something about it made me suspicious. Oh, you know what it probably was? The, didn't we throw that, the cross thing? Wait, I'm I'm starting to remember sort of what your deal is. Again, I think I only got revealed, like, what you're actually doing here, and then I stopped playing through last time, but I kind of think I remember, but I'm not going to say until I get proper confirmation. But I think she just noticed the cross. Come to think of it, she was essentially ransacking my room at this point. But what if she was trying to steal something? Maybe she was thinking that I had so many figures I wouldn't notice if one went missing? Little did she know she was dead wrong. Perfectly memorized every single waifu on that shelf. Even if a single one went missing, I'd be able to tell in a nanosecond. Don't touch my figures, okay?
Alright, but I think there's been a misunderstanding. This is a blood dojinshi, I think it's called, right? I just saw it fall down and I decided to take a look at it.
My blood tuned dojins? Shit, it's all porn! No!
It was very interesting, so I was just surprised. That's all.
Don't go looking at stuff without asking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yua began tying up again, nervous as ever. Shortly after, she quickly cleared a space to sit down and then turned toward me.
それで
So, about that request I mentioned earlier,
さっき言
well,
った
Finally,
お願いですけど
I gulped and instinctively braced myself for impact.
さっき言った
earlier, you mentioned that
フィ
one
ギュアの
figure,
予約
that one figure
一
pre-order.
緒に行ってもらえませ
You
ん
think we could
か
go do that together?
Huh?
私
You see,
そう
I've
いう
never
アニメ
gone
シ
to
ョ
an
ップ
anime
みたいな
shop or
ところ
anything
に
like that
今
before.
まで行ったことなくて
Wait, what am I even saying?
なんだか
I'm
す
so
ごく
so
ぶしつけ
sorry.
なお
You
願い
must
して
think
ま
I'm
す
being
よ
so
ね
rude.
私のせいで
It's my fault you got injured after all.
It was some dangerous territory. I couldn't afford to just blurt out an answer. On one hand, you and I had shared interests. Hell, she was even a fan of Sarah. She also seemed very interested in what I had to say, which meant she was someone I could get along with as an otaku. On the other, it had to be some sort of trap. There was just no way in hell something like this, something so perfect, would actually happen to me in real life. It was an eroge cliche, nothing more. Couldn't let 3D corrupt me. Think, Takumi, think. What the hell was Yua's true goal?
すいませ
I'm
ん
so sorry.
今のお願いは
Please just
忘れ
forget
て
what I
ください
said.
私
It's
日
just
常
all
君
the
が
things
い
we
ろいろ
talked
話して
about.
くれるのが
It made me happy.
その
Yua sat there with her head hung low. Pretty much every 3D girl ever was insanely full of themselves, and meanwhile, this girl was remarkably timid. And there was no way a 3D girl could be so pretty and have such a cute personality. Everyone knew that, meaning she had to be faking it. I turn her down, I gather all my strength, all the power vested in me as a man, and shoot her down. As Yua looked back up at me, I saw tears welling up behind her glasses. Wait, was she crying? Was it because I wasn't saying anything? Had I just made her cry? Oh no, give me a break. What a life or death situation. I never experienced anything like this outside of video games. Heart was pounding out of my chest. I was even starting to feel a little guilty. To say that women weaponize their tears. They say women weaponize their tears, but only now was that really starting to ring true for me. Honestly, I had absolutely no clue how to deal with that. I was getting more and more nervous by the second. We can go together, I tried to say, but ultimately I couldn't bring myself to. Because if I did, surely she'd just say something like, ew, this dumbass actually took it seriously, what a freak. Call it a persecution complex, but that was how I felt. I just couldn't do it.
無理してくれなくていい
It's
です
okay if you don't want to. After all, it's not right for me. That's for something so selfish.
よくないですし
Her eyes seemed even more wet than before. I saw a single tear dripping out from the corner of her eye. I'll come with you.
Huh?
行って
You'll
もらえ
come
るん
along
で
with
すか
me?
I had no choice but to nod. I couldn't think of any other way to make her stop crying. Still, it felt like I was stepping right into a trap. Yu seemed incredibly relieved. She took a deep breath, took off her glasses, and wiped away her tears.
断られて当然だと思って
Never
た
would
のに
have thought you'd agree to it. Thank you so much, Nishijo-kun.
ありがとうございます
Huh. She was thanking me. Seemed like I'd been able to stop her from completely breaking down. Maybe I should be the one thanking her. Shit, how did I get myself into such a mess? Goddamn 3D women. You can never let your guard down around them.
行くとしたら
So then,
いつがいい
when should we
でしょ
go?
う
What time would suit you best?
Hold on, where the hell had her sad-looking expression gone? Only a second had passed and she was already looking happy as a clam. Those really were crocodile tears, weren't they? Oh, she should win a fucking Academy Award.
セイラちゃんの新しい
The new
フィギュア
Sarah-chan figure is
も
going
う
to
す
go
ぐ
on
発
sale
売
soon,
なんですよ
right?
ね
Yeah, it'll probably sell
きっと
instantly,
すぐに
I
完
think.
売しちゃう。
だったら
So we should hurry up your as soon as possible then.
明日とか
Well, how about we go tomorrow?
According to my schedule, I need to go to school tomorrow. I made it 3 times total this week. Then the week after, I'd only have to go twice. I had a feeling that tomorrow was going to suck even more than usual. But I already told you I would go with her. If I tried changing my mind now, she'd start the waterworks all over again. I really had no choice here, huh? Fine.
わかったよ。
I was incredibly reluctant, but still, I agreed. Yua seemed happy to hear that. But she couldn't fool me with that face of hers.
Which class are you in, Nishijo-kun? We can meet up after school tomorrow.
Class B.
Class 2B then, right? Okay, I'll be waiting for you once classes are over.
I nodded quickly in response, hoping that that'd make her leave faster. Wait, I just made a promise to hang out with a girl. Was this a dream? A delusion? I pinched my cheek to test that theory. It definitely hurt.
Alright, well, I'm really sorry for taking so much of your time today. If your legs keep hurting, please go see a doctor, alright?
Oh, sure. I sat on the couch and watched Yua leave. She turned around and waved goodbye, then exited out the front door.
I'll see you tomorrow, Nishijo-kun.
She said, see you tomorrow. And she even waved goodbye to me. I felt like I was about to melt with bliss, so I quickly stiffened back up. That bitch has definitely fallen for me, no doubt about it. But really, it's up to me whether or not I end up dating her, right? So I'm just gonna dump that whore. No mercy, no sympathy. You know what I'm gonna say? As you are now, you're not fit to be my woman. I'm back once you surpass Sarah, which say never. After all, there's no way you can beat Sarah. She's forever 17. Okay. Okay, Takumi. There's no way any girl could ever be better than Saraton. I picked up the Sarah figure and rubbed her against my cheek, and Saraton couldn't have looked happier. Again, Takumi just makes me feel sad in a way. It's like a lot of pity, I guess. Oh, looks like we're out of time. As I'm sure you all know, we have a test coming up soon, so make sure you take good notes. Hear me? Anyway, that's all for today. Rise. Ow. Math teacher. Wait, what was his name again? Well, whatever. The teacher left the classroom, and that was the end of classes for the day. Some students started chatting about where they'd go after school. Those who were in clubs gathered with their fellow members and head for their club rooms, and the rest were getting ready to to go home ASAP. I wish I was in the last camp. As soon as the bell rang, I was always the first to pack up and leave. Today, I stayed glued to my seat, trying to avoid eye contact with any of my classmates. My anxiety was killing me. After all, my date with you was very soon. Any normal, non-Vijay-obsessed person would be losing their mind to have a date with a girl plan. This was me we were talking about, and I couldn't feel any more depressed. I couldn't relax at all. I was feeling physically sick. This would be the first time I'd ever gone on a date with a girl, so I had no clue what to do. Besides, would Yua even shown up? Maybe she'd just been fucking with me yesterday, and she planned on standing me up. She's probably watching from her showers right now, giggling at how gullible I was. Well, now that I thought about it, that honestly might be better than her actually showing up. Wait, did I really just... Did I really have to just sit around waiting? I mean, I could just blow her off and go home. Alright, settled. Time to head home. We are in different grades anyway, so if I just canceled a date at the last minute, I'd never have to see her again for the rest of my life. Fully determined to follow through with that plan, I stood up. You! Yo, Taku! You still here? Out of nowhere, my back fell victim to a hard slap. I knew who was behind me without even looking. The only guy in class who ever talked to me. None other than Misumi-kun. You plan on heading home? You usually vanish before the bells even finish ringing. In my head, I call it Takumi's Super Sonic Split. I'm about to leave. You ain't on someone? Huh? How do you know? No way. Was I running the money? How? Well, you're acting pretty damn fishy. You also looked over at the door about 100 times. He was good. By the way, I probably shouldn't say anything that made me stand out too much. Don't you forget, Takumi. You've got to be invisible at this school. You got to blend in. Be like air. No, I'm not really waiting for anyone. Oh, really? What have you been up to all this time? Well, Fuck, Mitsumi-kun wasn't a bad guy, but at times like this, he could really get fucking annoying. Take a hint, for fuck's sake. Nishijo-kun? Shivers ran down my spine. She's here!
Oh god.
I slowly turned my head toward the voice. It was standing by the classroom door, looking apologetic. Oh god damn it, because of Mitsumi-kun, I'd lost my chance to escape. What's going on? What the hell's going on? Mitsumi-kun looked unusually shocked. In fact, he was literally shaking. He put his arm around my shoulder and gave me a stern look. Dude, Taku, what the hell? Explain. That your girlfriend? No, she's not. How many times have I told you, Mitsumi-kun, I'm not into 3D? Then who is she? And I'm not buying any bullshit like she's my sister or something. What the hell did a shun like you do to me to be like that? She followed me around yesterday. Oh, so it's like that then. She picked you up. Damn, bro. Lucky bastard. He put his hand on his chin, pondering for a moment, and then he finally let me go. I see, I see. Well, different strokes for different folks, huh? Gotta be someone out there that's into whatever you've got. I'll tell you what, Taku. I'm kind of relieved you got at least a half normal sex life. Could you get out of here? Sex life? I told you, it's not like that. Right, whatever you say. Good luck out there, Taku. Mitsumi-kun wasn't taking me seriously at all. He just got excited, all excited over his own assumptions and slapped my back even harder than before. At this point, he was just screwing with me. Chill out, dude. I won't steal your girl. I'm trying to tell you, it's not like that. Whatever, man. Just get going. Your girl's waiting. Mitsumi-kun ordered me to move, so I stumbled over to Yua. Despite my best efforts, I hadn't been able to escape.
Hello. I came to pick you up. Am I disturbing you?
What are you? You came to pick me up. What are you, chaperone? No, not really. Yes, you fucking are. I turned to look at Mitsumi-kun, but he just grinned and gave me the finger. Honestly, I couldn't tell whether he was trying to pick a fight or cheer me on. I couldn't deal with this shit any longer, so I just decided to hurry up and leave with Yua. Well, let's get out of here.
Again, I'm really sorry. We only just met yesterday, so asking you to come with me for something like this isn't really...
It's fine. I was so nervous. I was leaving school together with a 3D girl. Was I normie now, or what? I always felt like this was all in a completely different world from mine. Never would have thought I'd get to experience something like this. Now I was feeling the intense pressure of Yua's silence. We were just walking side by side, not even talking, so why was this so stressful? And to top it all off, I didn't really know who Yua was, or what her goal was. It was just, what did she want from an otaku freak like me?
So, did you watch... I'm sorry?
Nothing. She started talking to me out of nowhere, so I got surprised, and that weird sound I had made just came out. Yua also seemed really nervous. Her expression was so tense. She was older than me, so how is she still so innocent? Surprisingly moe. But then again, I probably wasn't the best person to be talking about innocence, since I could barely manage more than a quick sidelong glance at her. I was too embarrassed to take a proper look at her face. I just couldn't do it.
You watched the new Bloodtoon episode, right? The one that aired the day before yesterday?
Yeah.
There was one part that I didn't quite understand. Susumu-kun always rushes to rescue Sarah-chan, right? This time, how do you even know that Sarah-chan was in danger? I don't quite get it.
That, was foreshadowed in last week's episode. There was a tiny scene where Sarah's phone rang for a moment, right? Susumu's name was on the caller ID.
Oh! Now that you mention it, I think I remember that.
Yamataku loves putting that sort of foreshadowing in. There were similar things in Gold Goal, too.
Yamataku? Gold Goal?
Yamataku is the nickname of the Bloodtoon director, and he did an anime called Gold Goal before Bloodtoon.
Oh, really?
じゃあ
So Yamataku-san is a famous
有名な
director.
監督さんなんです。
ま
Well, I like him, at least. As for why, well... I've been lecturing you about the various facets of anime when I realized we were already in front of Animate. Time flew by way faster than I expected. I let myself get carried away and talked way too much. Well, it didn't help that Yua was such a good listener. She paid such close attention while I shared my wisdom. I couldn't help but tell her everything I knew, even though I knew I was falling right into her trap. All this, and yet I wasn't even good at talking. This was the first time I'd ever felt this way. I was talking out loud, but it felt like I was chatting online. It was a strange feeling.
Oh dear.
なんだか
I'm getting a
ド
little
キドキ
nervous.
してきました。
Please
先に
don't
帰
leave
った
without me,
りしない
okay?
でくださいね。
Sure. You only got more and more nervous as she went up and spoke to the store employee. It was clear that she was out of her comfort zone, but all I could do was just stand there and watch as she placed the pre-order for the pre-awakening version Sarah figure. Post-awakening. There weren't any opportunities to escape. Yua kept anxiously glancing back at me, so I couldn't budge an inch. Budge. Right after that, she even forced me to look around the store with her. Yua was looking all around with a big grin on her face, saying things like, "Wow, there's not enough money in the world to buy all these figures." But even in the face of all that enthusiasm, I just couldn't find it in me to smile back at her. McDonald's! McDonald's! Apparently Yua took the train to school, which meant I had to accompany her all the way to Shinsen Station. She might not look like it, but she was a devious one, alright? She always managed to get her way, all without making herself look even remotely selfish. Clever girl. Talk about a wolf in sheep's clothing.
西条くんって
So
携
Nishijo-kun,
帯は持っ
do
て
you
ない
have
ん
a
です
cell
か？
phone?
Once we reached the station, Yua suddenly asked me that question. Cell phone? I shook my head weakly.
持ってないんです
You
か？
don't have one. I
そ
see.
れじゃ
I
連
guess we
絡
can't
が
stay
取
in
れない
touch
です
then.
ね。
連絡
How would she want to stay in touch? What, was she going to demand that I text her about every little thing for the rest of my life?
あ、で
Oh,
も
but you do have a
西条
computer,
くん
right?
パソコン持って私も持って
I
るか
have
ら
one too, so
メールアド
maybe
レ
we
ス
could
交
exchange
換し
email
ません
addresses?
か？
Why would we...
Eh, そのフィギュアの発
You
売
know,
日に
because when the figure goes on sale,
取りに行かなくちゃ
I
いけ
have
ま
to
せん
come pick
よ
up my
ね。
pre-order.
その時に
So maybe we could go together again?
まだ
I still don't have the courage to go to Animate all by myself.
ないか。
She was good.
それに
Besides,
She was way too good.
私
you see
西条くん
Nishijo-kun.
と
I knew she had her claws in me, but I couldn't just turn her down. If I did, then I'd look like the bad guy.
もっと
I really...
3D was the scariest fucking thing in the world.
仲良く
would like to get to know you better.
How was she doing this? Is it just because I was bad at talking to people, or was she just too good? Either way, he was seeming intent on not leaving until she had my email. At the same time, I could sense a bit of unease behind those glasses of hers. I could practically feel my will to resist draining from my body. There were goosebumps all over my body, shivers running down my spine. But I couldn't run away. And I couldn't turn her down. There was definitely something up with Yua. This aura she had. It wasn't normal. But I couldn't really put into words exactly what it was that was bothering me so much. But whatever it was, something wasn't right. Yeah. She seems almost way too obsessed. Before I knew it, I torn out a scrap of notebook paper, written down my email address, and handed it to her. She took it, looking happy as can be, then quickly bowed her head and disappeared into the station. I felt like my soul had left my body. I just stood there, completely dumbfounded. Even after 10 minutes passed, I couldn't move an inch. Participants 2. So, what do you make of all this? Of her? Because personally, I don't have the slightest clue. There's no way she doesn't have ulterior motives or something. Doesn't make any sense otherwise. Are you listening? What a rogue. Thank you, Grant. What a rogue is this? Thank you, Grim. That night, I decided to consult Grim about you, I figured I might as well. If I just kept my paranoia to myself, I wouldn't get anywhere. And that was the response I got. Well, not like I can blame him. The first time I'd spoken with you, I reacted the same way. Stupid of me to think you'd be any help, Grim. Now wait one fucking second. Were you being serious? You actually managed to raise a flag with someone? You really have a way of getting whatever you want, huh? Lol. Now who said they weren't in 3D again? Limfow. It's not like that, dude. Grim's reaction was almost identical to Misumi-kun's. Were they the same person or something? It'd be funny if Grim is Misumi. Well, for a turbo version like you, Nightheart, now that you have a girl, it should be easy to leave Otaku-dun behind and lose your V-card. You gotta be careful, though. Like, if you start talking to her about your school swimsuit fetish, she'll dump your ass, so use common sense. What's wrong with the school swimsuit fetish? This guy's hopeless. I better do something. You gotta mail, you gotta mail, you big duck. Oh? Out of nowhere, I heard Seraton's voice. That was my custom email notification sound. I casually went to check my email, and the sender's name was... Kusunoki Yua. Wow, she sent one already? I got an email. Just now. There it is! First time I'd ever gotten an email from a 3D girl. I gulped and clicked to open it. It's all just porno! Good evening, this is Kusunoki. I sent this email as soon as I was able to. I would appreciate if you added me to your address book. My apologies for making you accompany me today. Sorry. Even so, I still had a lot of fun. Perhaps because it was my first time going to a store like that, or maybe it's because Nishijo-kun was with me. Lol. What time will be coming into school tomorrow, Nishijo-kun? I'm only asking because I was hoping I'd be able to say hello tomorrow morning. That's all. It would be nice if we could run into each other again tomorrow. Well, I'll be sure to email you again soon. Good night. You, as usual, elegance and purity shone through the email, and by using a lot of emoticons, she gave it a bit of a friendly tone, too. But when she said things like, maybe it's because of Nishijo-kun was with me, or I was hoping I'd be able to say hello tomorrow morning, I just couldn't help but feel like she was up to something. Post it now! It's tame, chill the fuck out. I'm not doxing. Just usual greetings and shit. Whatever, bro, just post it. Post it already. Yes? Oh. Good evening, this is blah blah blah. Oh, it's just... We're just typing out the email. Though I didn't censor mine you as personal information, at least. Let me make sure I save, because I remember last time the game crashed on me, which was still kind of amazing that it crashed on me. We're still not at the point where I ended up stopping last time. We might not even make it in today's episode to that point, but... maybe we will, who knows. Oh, would you look at that lovey-dovey email? Kill yourself. You should kill yourself. Now! You normie scum. Please take this seriously. This must be some kind of trap. Yeah, how tight that tinfoil hat you got on. You sure not overthinking it? Looks like you just raised a flag with this chick for me. You're almost at the good end already. That's what I mean. There's no way this is real. You think this is gonna happen to an otaku freak like me? There's no way. You think a cute girl would try to pick me up IRL? Dude, lol, are you seriously commenting your GF already? Did you quit trolling for 1 second? Come on, I already told you, you're overthinking it. We're two of a kind, aren't we, Nightheart? We both know girls like that don't exist anymore. Yeah, I was fully aware, but she was really just that... But she really was just that nice. And that's exactly what didn't feel right to me. Well, maybe her stalking shit went a bit too far, but that's kind of... No. means she really likes you. You said she likes anime too. No way, such a perk. You have exist, bro. Not for us otaku anyway. Just don't go ruining her with your degenerate shit. Well, that might not be so bad. No, scratch that. That was exactly what I wanted. Still cheer up a bit. She made the first move, bro. I'm not into 3D. You say that, but we both know you really want to go out with her, am I right? If you want to de-otakify yourself, now's your chance, lol. You won't get a second one and you know it. You're right, but... Congrats, you're popular now. It won't last long, so don't let it go to waste. Just keep calm and go on the attack. Just be Nightheart IRL, and you can do it. You got the green light, bro. If I could just do it, I wouldn't be going through so much turmoil. Like, I'd realized something when I was talking with you the other day. Sure, there were a couple moments where I had fun or felt happy, but aside from that, I just felt annoyed and completely exhausted. If that was what I had to go through with every IRL interaction, then I'd honestly rather just live in the 2D world where I could do whatever I wanted. And that was why I decided not to reply to you as email. Oh dear. What the? The fire burned bright into the sky. Scorching red cinders danced around the incinerator. The flame was fueled by a sailor-style school uniform, along with countless textbooks. On a foothill overlooking the Seto Inland Sea, a girl stood in her home's garden. The steam whistles of boats echoed in the distance, and the nearby trees gently swayed in the refreshing sea breeze. In the midst of such a serene scene, the girl, Orihara Kozue, stood still and alone in front of the incinerator, bathing in the somber ambience of its cinders. The girl's gaze was locked onto the school uniform and textbooks as they were slowly reduced to ashes, each becoming clad in a crimson glimmer, until only yesterday they had been her school uniform and her textbooks. Despite having lit the fire herself, the girl did not move from the spot, perhaps out of a lingering sense of regret. That, too, lasted only a moment. She suddenly knitted her eyebrows and covered her ears as hard as she could. She gasped in agony, and yet she did nothing more. The girl did not moan, nor did she raise any tearful complaints. All she let out was a series of ragged breaths. She shook her head repeatedly from side to side, as if to express a fierce, visceral objection. And as she did, her strength slowly began to crumble, and she collapsed to the ground. She fell on her backside with a thud, let her jaw droop as if utterly exhausted, and looked up to the sky with a dazed expression on her face. Minutes later, she was still in that exact same position, not having moved a single muscle. Until suddenly, she turned around with conviction, as if she had heard someone call out to her. She looked toward the house's porch. The wooden house had been built over 50 years ago, so despite being daytime, it appeared quite dim. Anything beyond the porch could barely be seen. Kazui slowly stood back up and walked over to the porch. And at that very moment, her mother appeared with impeccable timing.
Oh, there you are, Kazue-chan. I've been looking all over for you. Have you finished packing yet?
Kazue promptly nodded and slowly sat down.
Well, I have to say goodbye to our little old place in a couple of days.
Her mother took a seat next to her, gazing toward the inland sea with a gentle look in her eye.
This will be your first time in Tokyo, won't it, Kozue-chan? Don't worry, I'm sure you'll make lots and lots of friends.
Despite her mother's caring words, Kazue did not nod, nor even shake her head in response. She simply remained silent, gazing wistfully toward the still-burning incinerator in the corner of the garden. I don't know what that was all about. Another week came and with it on our school day. As usual, I head to school with my head hung low, depressed as ever. Autumn was starting to come into full swing. The leaves of the trees in Shoto Park were slowly changing color, and I was starting to feel chilly in my short-sleeved uniform. I suppose it made sense that I'd be surprised by the change of season, given I rarely went outside in the first place. I still hadn't really registered that summer had ended. My weekend had consisted of non-stop ESO. Brim had kept on bugging me about Yua, but I just ignore him. I hadn't gotten an email from Yua since the first one. I hadn't replied to her first one either, so maybe she'd finally given up on me. I really hope that was the case. Whenever I talked to Yua, my feelings always got so jumbled up. Those interactions almost made me have a little hope. There was no point in being so optimistic. At the end of the day, I was just an otaku freak. My whole life, I'd never had any success with 3D, so I'd just given up on it. Please don't give me any hope. Please don't have any hope for me. This is just depressing. Just as I thought that, someone tapped my shoulder from behind. I figured it was Nanami or Misumi-kun, but when I turned around, I was shocked. Yua!
Nishijo-kun.
Yua was looking at me with a smile on her face. Her cheeks were a little flushed. Why was she so out of breath?
後ろ姿が
I
見えたから
was right behind you.
もしかしたら
I thought-
西条くんかなって
Oh,
思って
is that Nishijo-kun?
走って追いかけちゃいました
Ran to catch up.
Had she really not given up yet? Does she still have some hope left in me?
おはようございます
Good morning, Nishijo-kun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finally got a chance to say it. It only took me 4 days, if you count the weekend, that
4日
is.
もかかってしまいましたけど
Oh, alright,
先週
I emailed
メー
last
ルを
week.
送ったんですけど
Did you read it?
I found myself nodding out of reflex.
よかった
Oh, good. I didn't see any replies on my inbox, so I worried that maybe you didn't send properly.
何度
I
か送り
considered sending
直
it
そうと
again,
した
but
ん
I
です
guess
け
I
ど
was right to be patient.
我慢しておいて正解でした
Seriously, what the hell did Yua want from me? Did she expect me to like her back? Did she want me to be her boyfriend? And then, did she want us to live out some intimate, lovey-dovey fantasy together? There's no way I could do that. No way I could be that normal, no matter how hard I tried. I really wanted to, but it just wasn't possible. I still don't understand why Yua even liked me in the first place, which made it all the more impossible to trust her. So I just couldn't do it.
あの
Nishijo-kun, are you alright?
Huh?
えっと
Well, you've just been kind of been standing there for a while now.
Upon realizing that, I quickly started to walk away, leaving Yua behind. Before I could get very far, Yua had already caught up with me.
昨日
I went over to your classroom yesterday, but you weren't there, right?
いま
So
せ
I
ん
thought
でした
that
よね
maybe you caught a cold and taking the day
も
off.
しかして
I was
風
very
邪でもひい
worried.
て休んでるんじゃないかと思ってでも
But you seem to be doing just fine, so that's good.
Sometimes
はい
Sorry?
僕
I
たまに
just
しか
don't come to school sometimes.
みんな
Everyone calls me a shut-in.
思われてる
That break the spell? You're totally disillusioned now that you know the truth, right? If so, I don't mind. I never got my hopes up anyway. Go ahead and call me an otaku freak, and then after that, never talk to me again.
そうですか
Oh, really? I see. Well, I'm really glad I got to see you today then.
I was left speechless. All I could manage to do was stare at you and smile. But when our eyes met, I got flustered and looked down. How was she not disgusted by me?
っていうか
And if you ask me, even if you don't always show up, I don't think that makes you a
西
shut-in.
条くんは引きこもりじゃないと思うすいませ
Oh,
ん
I'm really sorry. I shouldn't talk like I fully understand your situation. I just...
But
でも
going to school
だよ
kills me.
だとしたら
And that's exactly why I respect you a lot.
Huh? I never thought I'd hear someone say that to me. What the hell was respectable about a total loser like me? A gentle smile had spread over Yua's face. A smile so sweet it could cure any disease. That was generally what I thought in that moment.
だって
After all, even though it's so hard for you, you still make an effort to come sometimes.
来ていますから普通なら
Most people wouldn't choose to do things that cause them pain.
でも
But
僕は
I'm an
バカだ
otaku,
しキモいし
a freak.
私
And I like listening to you talking, Shijo-kun.
好きですよ
What the hell? What was with all this validation? Why did hearing it make me feel so good about myself? I felt like Yua was embracing me, all the way down to my core. Like she was giving me the right to be here, to exist in this moment. It felt like, when I was with her, maybe I could even be a normal person again.
Oh, oh no, the bell.
I hadn't realized until now, but almost all the students were already gone. Everyone had made their way into the school building.
西条くん
Alright then, I'll be sure to talk to you later, Nishijo-kun. Oh, I almost forgot. Would you happen to have any time after school today? Maybe we could walk home together. If you want, I mean.
その
With a timid tone, Yua mumbled her words, a faint blush on her
帰りま
cheeks.
しょう
I'll wait for you in the courtyard after class then. So if you want to come with, meet me there,
もし
please.
気が向いたら、無理に
But
来なくて
don't feel
も
like you have
全
to.
然平気で
It's
すから。
perfectly fine if you don't come.
失礼します。
I'll talk to you later. If you want, I mean.
Yuya bowed elegantly, then darted off toward the third-year classrooms. I watched her disappear into the building, then I pinched my cheek. It really wasn't a dream. Or a delusion. I couldn't focus on my classes all day after that. Or rather, I didn't bother trying to focus. I just rested my head on my hand, staring sluggishly into the autumn sky outside the window. My teachers, my classmates, none of them ever paid any attention to me. Yuya did. Yuya was different from the other shitbags at the school. I couldn't stop thinking about her. Couldn't stop having delusions about her, and before I knew it, classes were over for the day. Sup, Taku? You got a date today too? How'd your last date with the glass chip go? Wait, you're not holding back just because you're in need, are you? She made the first move, so it's not a question of whether or not you take her out. You just got it, man. I'm not doing any of that. Whoa, what's with the shouting? You and I aren't like that. Huh? Shit again? Why are you giving up on her already? It's about time you got out of your shut-in phase, ain't it? I'm not a shut-in. That wasn't even what this was about. There was no point in trying to explain that to Misumi-kun, a guy who only thought with the wrong head. So ignoring how puzzled Misumi-kun was, I quickly made my way out of the classroom. The shortest path from here to the courtyard is through the skyway to the third-year building, then down the stairs, I think. I didn't come to school often enough to have a good grasp on the layout. I didn't even know where half the club rooms were. So I was a little bit anxious as I walked down the hallway to the next building. As I walked, I noticed a girl standing alone in the middle of the hall, staring up at the sky. Her face looked stiff, so despite her looking out the window, I wasn't in a wistful kind of way. She's obviously in everyone's way, but she didn't seem to care in the slightest. I know you can hear me walking towards you. Move along, will you? I'm in a bit of a hurry here. I was getting real Dokun vibes from her, and I didn't want anything to do with it. So I tried to keep my distance and slip by Girl B without getting noticed.
Oi.
Yeah. Oh shit, was she talking to me? Fuck. Was she gonna threaten me and take all my money, or take me to a Dokun hangout spot and have me lynched because she didn't like my face, or worse? Give me a fucking break. What had I ever done to deserve this? I looked toward Girl B. She was staring at me. Who are you? Huh? Did you just ask me that? I mean, she's talking to me, but this is the first time I've ever spoken to her, so obviously she wouldn't know that. So I was right. Whatever she wants from me, it can't be good. Pardon me. Quickly bowed to avoid looking Girl B in the face, then ran away as fast as I could. After bowling through the hall, down the stairs, and out the door, I shot a look behind me at the third-year building. Seemed like the scary girl hadn't come after me. I was safe. To be completely honest, I'm getting tired of all this bullshit. Whenever I went into the third dimension, I was always running into another goddamn trap. I took a second to catch my breath, and then looked for the courtyard. The courtyard was between the school building and the pool. It was so narrow, it was more like a path than an actual garden. There were a few evenly spaced flower beds spread across the courtyard. The violet-colored flowers were especially eye-catching. What kind of flowers are those, I wondered, but I really didn't have a clue. And standing in front of the flower beds was none other than Yuya. She stood still, gazing at the flowers listlessly. Just like she promised, she really waited for me here. She waited for me, and me alone. Yuya hadn't betrayed me. Maybe I could trust her. Maybe she really was the savior I've been looking for. Oh! You looked up and noticed me standing there. And a moment later, her eyes widened. I got shy and looked away, frozen in place. Should I walk toward her? I didn't know. Why was she so surprised? Maybe I shouldn't have come. But as I was lost in thought, Yuya ran over to me.
I can't believe it.
What?
You actually came, Nishijo-kun. I was so close to getting up, thinking you weren't going to come. But I'm so glad I waited.
I was taken aback. Yua was thinking the same way as me. We both had the same pessimistic mindset. But there was one clear place that we differed. Whenever I had negative thoughts, I'd freeze up and do nothing. But whenever Yua had negative thoughts, she'd take action anyway. I seriously respected her initiative. I wanted to be like that too.
So, are we going to walk back together?
She timidly asked me, and I nodded in response. Walking side by side, the two of us passed through the school gate. It was a little embarrassing. It felt like other students were staring daggers at me, green with envy. And the more aware of that I became, the more anxious I got. I guess I was right. I really can't walk home alone with a girl. We crossed paths with a teacher I'd never seen before. Or at least I assumed he was a teacher, since he was wearing a suit instead of a school uniform. But wasn't he a little young to be a teacher? Well, I hardly ever came to school, so it only made sense that I wouldn't know what half the teachers looked like. Hell, sometimes I even forgot what my homeroom teacher looked like. The teacher in the suit was looking around restlessly as he headed for the school building.
Is something wrong?
Not knowing how to react, I quickly shook my head, returned to Yua's side, and went back to walking with her. We said we'd walk home together, but my base was only 10 minutes from school. Meanwhile, Yua needed to go all the way to Shinsen Station, so I needed to accompany her before I could go home. But by force of habit, I led Yua into Shoto Park. The park was something of a shortcut on my route to school, saving me about a minute each way.
So, Nishijo-kun, you eat your breakfast here in the morning, right?
Yeah. How'd she know that?
I knew it. I've seen you eat here quite often, but I noticed you weren't here every day. But it looks like I've finally solved that mystery. It's just because you don't go to school every day, right? Well, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just that I'm curious.
Right. Yua suddenly stopped, turning toward the bench I always ate breakfast on. Nobody was sitting there at the moment.
You know, whenever I looked at you from behind while you sat here, you always looked... you always looked really sad.
Yua bent forward slightly, gently stroking the back of the bench.
And the more I looked at you, the more I wanted to talk to you.
The bench was right in front of the fence by the pond. Whenever you sat on it, you could just stare out at the pond, without needing to worry about whether others might be looking at you. It was right by the watermill too, making it even more inconspicuous. That was another huge plus.
Whenever I didn't see you here, I got so worried that I had trouble eating.
Really? I never noticed her looking at me when I was here.
It's a little bit silly. It's a bit silly, isn't it? Worrying about someone you've never even spoken to. I just couldn't find the courage to talk to you.
So her initial stalking was an extension of that. Or maybe not stalking, per se. Maybe she'd just been looking out for me.
Do you mind if we sit down here for a little? I want to see, the scenery you're always looking at, Nishijo-kun.
I didn't really have much of a reason to refuse. I nodded my head, still facing out toward the lake. Yua placed her bag on top of the bench and quietly took a seat. She then straightened her posture and gazed out at the lake. It was so incredibly quiet. So incredibly serene. Yua was sitting right by my side. A gentle breeze drew ripples on the water, and it softly swayed Yua's hair. Was this what it felt like to be a normie again? The situation was so ordinary, so casual. So why did I feel like I was about to cry?
Enjoying a nice breakfast here sounds amazing.
I looked at the side of Yua's face as she whispered that. If life were an eroge, this would be where she confessed her love. We lean in, cast, and the good end credits would roll, and who knows, situation called for it, maybe we get straight to him.
Maybe I'll give it a try sometime soon.
Yua turned and looked up at me. Unable to find the words to say, I looked down at Yua's bag. Uh-huh. Yep. You were the girl in the other thing, looking at whose eyes are those. Cursing my inability to maintain eye contact with the girl, I stared instead at the 3 Garo Froggy straps hanging from her bag. Hold on. Wait a minute. Something about this scene was really nagging at me. And that thing was the Garo Froggies. Characters that were popular with high school girls. But I'd seen those exact ones before, hadn't I? Where, though? I just couldn't put my finger on it. I definitely felt like I'd seen them before, but I couldn't remember where. Was my memory really that bad? I'd always been confident in my memorization skills, and they never failed to help me score well on my tests. I was pretty smart after all. So why were they failing me now, and at such an important time? Or at least, what felt like one? Where had I seen them before? I felt as if I took a closer look at the Garo Froggies, that maybe then I'd remember. As for what would happen next, though, I didn't know. I just wanted to stop feeling so hopelessly lost, so I almost subconsciously extended my hand and reached for the bundle of Garo Froggies. No! Suddenly, Yua slapped my hand away. Huh? What just happened? I was completely dumbfounded. Yua looked away from me, then awkwardly started to get up off the bench. As she did, her hand hit the 3 Garo Froggies that were hanging from her bag, and almost as if in slow motion, her bag slowly fell off the bench and crashed to the ground. Bag was unzipped, so all of her notebooks and textbooks spilled out into the ground.
Oh, silly me. I'm all over the place today.
Just a few minutes ago, I might have even thought of Yua's ditziness as Moe. But at the present moment, I was just frozen in place. And that was because one of the fallen notebooks had flipped open. Tons of notes and newspaper snippets were scattered across the ground. It looked like it was some sort of scrapbook. And all the notes, all the newspaper snippets, everything was focused on a certain string of cases. Its name was written there, clear as day. New Gen. Why? My voice came out ragged. Yua, in a panic, started frantically gathering everything up and shoving it back into her bag. When she did, she held the bag close to her chest and stood up. She looked toward me and nodded, her expression intensely uncomfortable. Her smile from before was nowhere to be found. Were those? Yua didn't answer. Why wouldn't she talk to me? Please, just say anything. Even still, she said nothing, which meant she must have realized she'd been caught red-handed. I wanted to trust her so badly. And I've just been starting to think that maybe Yua was actually on my side. She could have been an ally.
Can't trust anyone. Don't listen to anything that anyone says.
The Aunt Sarah was right. The 3 girls were rude pieces of shit imaginable. Every last one of them. You never liked me at all. She only wanted to get close because she had ulterior motives. Maybe she wanted to turn me into the police. Or maybe she wanted to blackmail me. God damn it. God fucking damn it. I almost forgotten all about that incident, yet here we go again. Lisa never questioned me, so I thought that maybe, just maybe I could go on pretending it had nothing to do with me. All I wanted was to get away from those stupid murders, so why? What the hell was you really after here? No, I didn't even care anymore. I just wanted to run as far away as I could, so I went to turn around. But Yua quickly grabbed my wrist.
Are you running away?
Her voice sent chills down my spine. Her tone was so cold. I felt like my body might freeze over. It didn't feel like she was the same person. It wasn't the Yua I thought I knew. And her grip was way tighter than I expected. It wasn't normal. Jolts of pain ran through my arm. My bones felt like they were being crushed. I tried to shake her off of me, but she wouldn't let go. In fact, she was pulling me toward her, practically pinning my arm behind my back.
逃げるの？
Are you running away?
From behind me, right by my ear, I heard a whisper that crushed any emotion I had left. With a shiver, I slowly turned around. She was staring at me. There was no longer any color left in those eyes of hers.
逃がさないよ。
I won't let you run.
騙してたこと
I'm
は
sorry
謝
for
る
lying to you, but it's not like I was the only one.
あなただって
You have some things you're hiding too, don't you?
あるよね。
I'm hiding things. Only a single thing crossed my mind. Somehow she knew that I witnessed that staking murder. She knew that I had seen the perpetrator. And that was most likely why she tried to get close to me. I knew she was good. Too good. She had me wrapped around her little finger. Everything she told me was a lie. I had her taking interest in me from just one glance. Her liking Bloodtune, her arranging to go with me to go pick up the Sarah Post-Awakening version figure from the store when it went on sale. All her nice little comments as she listened to what I had to say. Her wanting to get to know me better. Her being worried about me when I didn't come to school. Her saying that she respected me. Everything. Everything that came out from her mouth had been a lie. The thought killed me inside. I was overwrought with grief. I tightly clenched my fists. Kid. Why did I believe a single fucking thing she'd said?
本当は
To be honest, I'd have liked a little more time to look into things, but the cat's out of the bag now, so there's no point pretending.
しょうがないよね。あなたに聞いて
I
も
have
らい
something
た
I
い
want to
話
ask you.
がある。聞いてくれるよ
You
ね。
listen, right?
聞かないなんて
Surely you'll listen, won't you?
あなたは聞く
You
べ
need to listen.
き。聞いて。
Listen to me.
聞くでしょ。
You're going to listen, right?
聞かないね。
If you won't listen,
What? What'll happen if I don't listen? You was almost a completely different person now. The gentle and carefree atmosphere from before was completely gone now. She felt completely unapproachable now. The atmosphere felt bizarre, like one molded from utter obsession. Her tone was as composed as could be, though perhaps cold as ice was a better description. Her usual femininity was completely gone. No, I didn't want to listen. I tried to cover my ears, but I couldn't. Yua was holding onto one of my arms. Her grip was weaker than a second ago, but she still didn't let go. I couldn't move my hand. And while we were in that deadlock, she took a dark gray shiny object from her bag and held it out to me. I was petrified. My heart skipped a beat. Any composure I had left was gone. I was so shocked that the hand that was going to cover my ear just fell to my side. Before long, Yua's voice, now sounding almost regretful, reached my ears.
この十字架に
you've seen this cross before, haven't you?
Of course, I definitely seen it before. I wasn't sure what it was at first, but I quickly realized. It might have looked like a cross, but it was in fact a stake. And stakes with such a unique shape were not something you'd see every day. Or at the very least, I had only come across them once. That night, scattered across that alleyway. That night, as the demon girl nailed them into the wall. That night, as the corpse was being nailed onto the wall.
やっぱり
So you do know of
知っ
it.
てるの。
Unsurprising.
知ってるんでし
You
ょ。
know, don't you?
知ってるに決ま
You
ってる
definitely know.
知らないなんて
Don't
言
you
いません
dare claim you don't know.
知ってなくちゃお
It'd be
かし
very
い
odd if you didn't know.
知ってるよ
I
ね。
know you know.
知ってる
You
よ
know,
ね。
don't you?
I frantically shook my head in denial. A disgusting cold sweat broke out on my brow. All I could do was wipe it away as I kept shaking my head as hard as I could.
これ
I found this in your
あな
room.
たの部屋にあったあなたの部
In
屋
your room.
ベッドの下
Under your bed.
床に落ちて
Not on
た
the floor.
落ちてた
It had fallen down there.
落としたよ
You dropped it, didn't you?
それとも
Or did you mean to throw it there?
とにかく
Either
落ち
way,
て
that's where it was.
た落ちてた
Right on
の
the floor.
Who the hell was this girl? When the fuck did she search my room? Was it the day we first met? When my leg got injured, she'd come all the way to my room with me. When she'd seen my Sarah fingers and her face lit up all cute like a fucking Christmas tree.
この杭
The steak is very unique. It was manufactured abroad.
それと
Moreover, it is the same as the steaks used in the third New Gen incident.
The exact same one. It's the same, right? There's no way it isn't the same. It's exactly the same. The same as the ones used to nail that corpse onto the wall. The same one. I was convinced. This woman thought I was the culprit behind Nugent. She thought I was some kind of insane cutthroat murderer. Did she think she was a detective or something? What did she call herself? Kusunoki Yua Ace High School Detective or some shit? Fucking kill yourself, actually. That shit might have worked in anime or video games. This was real life. Little did she know her reasoning had a fatal flaw. I knew who the real killer was. I'd seen her with my own 2 eyes. I'd seen that demon myself. Sure, I didn't know her name. She'd been wearing the Suicide uniform, which meant that she was someone I could know. So what?
だから
Yua suddenly hung her head and let out a small sigh. She loosened her grip on my wrist even more, then finally let go. That's everything. I have nothing more to say. I just wanted to confirm that you actually knew about the stake. To be honest, I really wasn't intending to question you about it yet. What the fuck has she meant by yet? Since it's too late now, could you please confirm one more thing for me? Do you have precognitive powers? Excuse you? What do you mean?
は
I do not have PSI. Excuse me? I couldn't help but just stand there with my mouth open. Precognitive powers? What the fuck? What did that have to do with the incident? I tilted my head to the side, utterly perplexed. As I did, Yua's hand retreated into her bag once more before taking out a picture printed in full color. Well, right here is an unaccountable digital picture that can only be explained by precognitive powers. That's why I had to ask. The picture was that grotesque one Shogun had sent me. Why did Yua have it?
これ
That's... Why you have an image that depicts the third Nugent case. And what's even more curious is how this image leaked the day before the incident. It was in the cache of the PC you always use.
違
I don't
う
understand. I got on that image earlier that day when I tried with Shogun. I hadn't made it myself. I downloaded it, so it must have still been my history. That's it. I'll just show that Yua that. Still though, how had Yua ever gotten this image in the first place? She said it'd been in my computer's cache, but how would she have known that? When you had come into my room, she definitely hadn't had time to snoop around my PC.
まさか
Oh god. Are you Shogun?
将軍か
Was she trying to frame me? It was all set up by Yua. She was the new Gen Killer, and now she was going to use me as a scapegoat in order to throw off the police, wasn't she? Help me.
助けて
It was all too much. Why'd it have to be me of all people? Was it because I was a freak? Was it because I had no friends? Yua didn't say a word. She just shook her head lightly. I got this image from the PC in room 37 at that cafe. I'd have liked to look into your private PC too, but unfortunately I didn't get the chance. Room 37? That was the one I always used. This bitch really did her research. Yua looked at me with a slightly apologetic look. It almost felt like she turned back to the Yua I knew, if only for a moment. And while that happened, she started fishing around in her bag once more. This time, she took out a page with text on it, then held it out to me. I had a bad feeling about this. Alarm bells were going off in my head, telling me not to look. There was no way I could ignore it. Because if I did, then I'd surely end up being framed. Everything there is you. What the hell was that supposed to mean? Did that mean she had all my personal information too? Was Yua some sort of hacker? I reached out and grabbed the printout, all my heart was pounding out of my chest. But to my surprise, the page didn't have my personal information. It was just some chat log.
Huh?
The two members of the chat log were Nightheart and Shogun. That log is quite strange, don't you think?
え
Huh? What's strange about it? It looks like a perfectly normal chat log to me. I definitely remember having this conversation with Shogun. Nightheart's and Shogun's timestamps. Oh, what the? What? You're right. The timestamps don't match up.
Don't
match up in the slightest.
What? Huh? What the hell? How is this possible?
The night heart, there is you, Nishijo-kun. Those are your messages from 3 a.m. on September 28th. And then the next day, you went to Ant Cafe. You only ever go to Ant Cafe after school. And you only go to school 2.5 times a week. Your fellow classmates told me so. However, last week you went to school on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Monday last week was September 29th, the same day Shogun's messages were sent.
What was she talking about?
I inspected the chat logs on room 37's PC, and that's when I realized.
Just for a moment, Yua hesitated. Then she stared straight at me, before breaking the cold, unfeeling truth to me.
Both members of that chat log were you.
How, though? Don't look at me.
This Shogun
Don't look at me.
is you.
I don't want to see anything. I don't want to hear anything. Time is not a constant. There are contradictions in my memories. There are errors in my point of view. The Earth isn't spinning. This is just another game. I stuffed my mouth with some fish sausage as I turned on my PC. I'm not me. Before long, my monitor shone brightly with my Seroton wallpaper. This world. I went straight to ESO and opened it without an ounce of hesitation. Isn't the one I belong to. Well, I actually got an achievement this time. What? Chapter 1, Eyes and Eyes. I think we're going to go ahead and end it here for today. Let's go ahead and save the game here. So yeah, we'll save the game here and we'll continue it next time. This is getting very interesting. How did I still don't know why I stopped playing through, but hopefully next time maybe we'll start getting into new territory. Who knows? But anyways, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and hope to see you all later. Peace.